All right, No Shave November continues to rage on the faces of those who choose to grow out a beard. So, as you can see, it's getting there. Yeah. So, you should have on your way in, grab the calculator, a little triangle, scissors, and notes. So, you should have not only cut out your triangle, but ripped off those edges, okay? So now, you can, on the board right now, you see the red triangle, see my fake rip marks, that's what you want to do, okay? So you should have already ripped them off. Check it out. Rip, rip, rip. All right, so that was cool, right? Here, listen. Rip. All right, so. Rip. Okay, so we're going to take those rips. Okay, we can call it A, B, and C. And then we're going to line them up on the bottom here. Like it says, line up all three vertices. Y'all know what a vertice is? Or what a, well, sorry, they're called vertices. The singular for vertices is vertex. Y'all know what a vertex is? What? A point? Okay, well, it's like the corner of something, right? So the triangle has three corners, but you don't call them corners. You call them a vertex or three vertices, okay? So I'm going to take those vertices and I'm going to line them up. So you can go ahead and do this with your three corners that you should have already ripped off, right? And try to point the corner, the vertex, at that point. So I'll put one right there. And then I'll put one right here. And then I'm going to take my last one. And I'm going to put it right there. Now when you do it, it should theoretically line up because you're pointing them at that point, okay? So let's get a visual of what it should look like for you. Okay? May I borrow yours because it's done so great. So here's an example. If it comes around. There we go. So put that there. Point it down there. Point it right there. Okay? So you can see, okay, all three of those vertices line up, and do you notice how they make a straight line? All three together. And by the way, I'm looking at all of your different lines. I see everyone's triangle works out if you did what you're supposed to do. All right? And these are all different triangles, okay? They're not each of them different, but there's lots of different types of triangles out here. So no matter what type of triangle you have, if you tear off those vertices, they line up to make a straight line. Now remind me, how many degrees is a straight line? What? Not 0. What? 180, right? A straight line is 180 degrees. So guess what those three angles of a triangle add up to? 180 degrees, okay? So that's what I want you to write that down for my conjecture about those three angles and what they add up to, okay? So put it in your own words under my conjecture. What do the three angles in a triangle add up to? So you put it in your own words, and then below that, you're going to put the class conjecture. So you can put it in your own words for my conjecture, but as a class conjecture, here's the official definition or the official theorem. It is the sum of the interior angle measures of a triangle equal 180 degrees. Okay? So everyone's getting that down, and then we're going to apply that on the back of this sheet. So I'll give you a second to write that down. All right, I'm sure you got that down, and if you haven't, then you can catch up later. But again, all three angles in a triangle add up to 180 degrees. So we're going to take that, we're going to apply it on the back side of this sheet, okay? So all of your little paper trimmings, leave them on your desk. We'll come and pick them up here in a minute. Just don't worry about it. Okay, go to the back side here. Let's do some math. Woo! All right. So everyone looking at the back of that sheet, okay? Miss Murrow is so kind. She's going to come around with the trash can, and you can put the trash in the trash can. All right? So, all right. So let's look at this first example here. Now I want to make an equation based on this information on the top left triangle. I know two angles, and I need to figure out the third one. The third one is x. So how do you think I'm going to figure it out? Okay, I know they add up to 180, so I could add up the two I know, subtract it from 180, right? But I'm going to show you the algebraic way. Now it's basically the same thing, just with an equation. So if I were to set up any equation with a triangle, I'm going to literally add up all three of these equal sign 180. So it's going to look like this. Adding up all three sides, 52 plus 55 plus x equals 180. So go ahead and write that down. Okay. Again, add up all three angles, 52 plus 55 plus x equals 180, because we just proved with our little triangle tearing that they have to add up to 180, right? It's a straight line. And now we have to remember how to solve for x. Okay? We've been doing it throughout the year with our favorite little red cup problems that we all love so much. But let's do this. What do I do first on the left side of this equal sign? We got three terms. What should I do? Combine like terms is correct. I have two numbers that are by themselves. They're called constants. I'm going to combine them. What's 52 plus 55? 107. Bring down plus x equals 180. And now I have one last step. X is on the left, so is 107. How do I get rid of that 107? Subtract, because it's positive. So that's literally what I was told to do. Add up what I know, subtract from 180. But I'm showing it algebraically here. So x equals, what's 180 minus 107? 73. Okay, so 73 degrees, right? Now, if they were all like that, wouldn't be that hard, okay? Let's look at the one on the top right. On the top right, I only see one number, or, 29. However, this symbol right here, what does this mean? It means 90. So they may not write 90, but you should think, I know this is 90. So what would my equation for this be? Good. So 90 plus 29 plus m equals, for a triangle, 180 degrees. Okay, so write that down. And just like the first one, what do we need to do first on the left-hand side? We see we have two constants. What do we do with those? Combine like terms. 90 plus 29. 119. 119. Bring down plus m equals sign 180. And again, we're going to subtract the loner from both sides. And what's 180 minus 119? Okay, 61 degrees. So the first two are not that hard, and then we see it gets a little bit more complicated when we throw in expressions, multiple, multiple terms in our expression. So down here, the exact same thing. We're just going to add all these three up equals 180. Okay? So my equation is going to be 10x plus 2x plus 1 plus 59, those are my three angles, equals 180. Okay? So let's do that. Make sure you're writing this down. So in the middle on the left. Now, just like the last two, we need to start with combining like terms. Because on the left-hand side, I have a bunch of terms. But this time, I can combine two different things. So I have my x's, they can combine. 10x plus 2x is 12x. And then my constants can combine. 1 plus 59 is 60. So bring down plus 60. And bring down equals 180. And then we solve it like we normally solve a two-step problem. First, I get rid of this loner, minus 60, minus 60. 12x equals 180 minus 60 is 120. And then, to get rid of the coefficient, we have to divide. So I divide by 12, 120 divided by 12, x is equal to 10. Okay? If I asked you for one of these missing angles, you could plug 10 into x and give me the original equation. Okay? Now, to the right, this one might look extra hard because each of them has what we call a binomial, two terms for each angle. But it's just like the one we did. There's just going to be more combining like terms. So let's write out this equation over here. Okay? Off to the right. 2x plus 11 plus 6x plus 16 plus 7x plus 18 equals 180. Okay? So take a wild guess. What's our first step? So after taking a wild guess, we know we have to combine like terms. So let's add up all three of those x's. 2x plus 6x plus 7x gives me 15x. 11 plus 16 plus 18 gives me 45. And that equals 180. And then, same as last time, get rid of the loner. Subtract 45 from both sides. 15x equals 135. And then divide by 15. X equals 9. Okay. And on the last one, it's just like the other ones. Again, make sure you have 90 there. When you set it up, 4x minus 2 plus 48 plus 90 equals 180. Combine like terms, negative 2 plus 48 plus 90 is 136. Bring down 4x plus equals 180. Okay, minus 136, minus 136, and then we divide by 4 on each side, and we get 11. Bet.